Okay, this is 9C, which I forget. I think it's part of, it was part of assignment 11.4, okay? So this is choosing the correct word based on these sentences, and these are prepositional phrases. So the focus of this last chapter, exercise 9, chapter 9, part of it was prepositions that take one of two cases, accusative or ablative. So I've got over here on the right, I'm gonna blow this up a little bit so you can see. Now, many of you got incorrect answers on this, and I'm not sure why, but it seems like you were trying to guess based on, motion or things like that, and it is true that accusative tends to um, have a sense of motion towards something, and ablative either has a sense of being in a place or a location, or motion from or away from something. But I think if you want to not like have to get theoretical like that, you just rather memorize, I think that's a pretty good way to go. So these four prepositions that you've seen go with the accusative. Odd meaning to or toward, or sometimes at, as I think we'll see here in a second. Per is through, sometimes along, but very often through. Prope is near, and in only when it means into does it take the accusative case. In when it means in, like in the fields, it's followed by a word in the ablative case, along with sub, which is under, and ex, which is out of. So let's look at 9C over here on the left and see if we can make some sense of it. I've also put a chart of nouns down here that have cases. You've got a new case this coming week 13, which will include the genitive case. But for now, let's focus on accusative and ablative, right? These are the two cases that these prepositions will be followed by. So, odd, per, prope, and in, meaning into, are followed by accusative. Sub, ex, and in, meaning in, followed by ablative once again, okay? So let's look. Oops, hold on. All right, there it is. Let's see if I can shrink that a little bit. Okay. First one says Marcus ad blank sedet. So Marcus sits. Here, odd, you would think to or towards, but considering that it's a tree, we're going to say he sits at the tree. You don't sit towards something, you sit at something, right? So he sits at the tree. Odd, again, is accusative, followed by accusative. So we're going to look down. Oh no, I should say arborem or arbore. So this is a third declension noun. So you can see the endings here, M and A, right? And this is what you're being asked up here. Is it M or is it A? And if you look at accusative versus ablative, all you have to do is think, okay, it's accusative, it's followed by the M. So ad arborem, ad goes with accusative. So Marcus ad arborem said it. And then the girls are walking, right? The girls walk, and they're walking out of something, and they're walking towards something. Now here they're walking, so you will say to or towards. So A, which is actually short for X, A takes ablative case. So A is going to be followed by this Silva, which is a first declension noun. That long A right there is ablative case. So A Silva, out of the woods. Again, ablative, motion out of or from, often. But again, if you just want to memorize it, that's probably easier. They walk out of the field, out of the forest, out of the woods, and they walk towards the villa. Odd takes accusative. So which one of these two here is accusative? It is villam. There it is right there. Accusative has the am ending. Villa is yet again a first declension noun. So, a silva ad villam. Number 3, multi servi in blank laborant. Many slaves work in agros or agris. Now, again, if it's in the sense of into, then it's going to go accusative. But if it's in the sense of in, it's going to be ablative. So we look at agros. Now, where is agros? It happens to be on this chart, and we see here accusative, agros, ablative, agris. Since we're talking about working in the fields, we're going to go with agris. That's like a location. So that's ablative is often a location. So in agris. Let's see. Cornelia brings her friend out of the villa into the fields. Now, again, here she's leading or bringing. So we're going to have in the sense of into. So A or X, as we know, is ablative, villa. And in, meaning into, is agros, accusative. There it is, accusative, plural, agros. Number 5, the slave is sleeping under the branches. So sub, again, ablative, that's a location. Under, I'm doing something under, I'm not moving towards it or away from it, but here it's a location. Sub, under the branches. So we look here, Ramos is a second declension noun, so sub ramis, just like in service here, sub ramis. 6, pueri per blank current, the boys run through the fields. Per, accusative. So, accusative plural here, agros. Those are your choices, agros or agris, and this again is accusative, agros. 7, Cornelius is getting ready or prepares to return to the city. Urbs or urbis or urbem, these are all forms of city here. So ad, he is returning to, again, that motion towards, so accusative, ad urbem. Urbs is a third declension noun, and we see urbem, patrem, vocem, urbem down here, accusative. 3 more. Flavia is sitting near the tree. Prope, accusative. So we look for the right ending there. Which one is it? Is it arbore? Is it arborem? Again, third declension, M versus A. So this is the accusative, arborem, near the tree. Sextus, this is number 9. Sextus goes out from or out of, he exits out of the garden quickly. So X, ablative. Hortus is a second declension, ablative, horto, right there. And servus per blank festinat, the slave hurries through the field. So we've seen this before. Per agros, it was agros here, and it's agros again. Through, per, accusative, agros, right here, accusative. Hope that helps, and I guess that's it for now. I'll try to do another one or two of these.